guys, it's Kirsty Maciel, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So David Morell, he gets the unanimous decision win against David Morell in one of the most significant fights of the year and one of the best fights of the year. This is the reason why we really need to start pushing for the best to fight the best, because we really get to see these fighters push to their limits. Now, I was asked by one of my friends right before the main event, what separates the two fighters when it comes to who's going to win this fight between Benavidez and Morell. And I said, the thing that's going to separate the two is defense. And this is the reason why I slightly favor David Benavidez to win this fight. And it was defense that really won David Benavidez this fight, because both Benavidez and Morell, they threw around the same amount of punches, but Benavidez, he was blocking the majority of Morell's punches. This is the graphic that I put up in my prediction video, giving the speed and defense edge to David Morell. There's no doubt about it, Benavidez's defense is way underrated. And you got to give Morell credit because he has a hell of a chin. He has a granite chin. Not only did he take a good punch, but he managed to hurt David Benavidez a couple times and even knock him down. David Benavidez, he did some smart things in this fight. He would always take this step back when Morell is about to punch, so Morell would be out of range. And I noticed he was doing this in the Andre fight when I was studying these fights leading up to this fight. So even though David Benavidez, he clearly won this fight hands down, it was a competitive fight, especially in the first half. I think the fact that Morell was missing so many of his punches, that kind of actually frustrated him. He kept going into the high guard looking for a knockout punch. And while he was doing that, David Benavidez was picking him apart with uppercuts, even with the jab. David Benavidez was showing a good jab in the second half of this fight. Now, I was hoping that there would not be any controversy when it comes to this fight, but there was a little bit, I guess, in the 11th round when Morell, he caught David Benavidez with a hook right after the bell. Coincidentally, that was the same round that David Morell knocked Benavidez down in, which gave him a 10-8 round. But then they took a point from him because he hit Benavidez after the bell. I mean, it was a little controversial by the referee, but it didn't matter because the fight wasn't close enough. So now David Benavidez, he moves on to fight the winner of Beterbiev versus Bivol. And I'm telling you right now, Benavidez against either one of those guys is going to be a great fight, but Benavidez versus Beterbiev, that would be an absolute classic. At the end of the day, I'm happy for David Benavidez that he no longer needs the Canelo Alvarez fight, and now he is more relevant than Canelo today. This is a bigger win than Canelo Alvarez has ever gotten in his entire career. Now, and I know when I say that, some Mexican fans are going to say, what are you talking about? Canelo, he beat Golovkin. But both of the Golovkin fights ended in controversy, where a lot of people believe that Golovkin was robbed. David Benavidez, he clearly beat David Morell. And Canelo has never beat an opponent as good as Morell decisively with no controversy. So whatever happens from this point on when it comes to David Benavidez's career, he has surpassed Canelo Alvarez. Not just by beating a great fighter like Morell, a fighter on that level in impressive fashion, but the fact that David Benavidez is always willing to challenge himself. He always wants to fight the best. But the main reason I say this is because David Benavidez is what Canelo Alvarez was supposed to be. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.